What's going on, guys and gals? This is Auto Tech. I have got something cool to show you guys today, but I'm going to have to show you once we get on the highway. That's kind of like a little hint. Alright guys, so we're going to look over to this side. We're going to push this on button. See the red light comes on. We're going to get to the speed that we want, and then we're going to hit this set button. This goes yellow. Alright, you ready for this? You ready for this? I'm letting go, Jack. Oh man, that's just so beautiful. And well, I'm not really getting ahead of these cars, so we'll go ahead and hit that Excel. Oh, and you see it jumps up 2 kilometers an hour. Now we're good to change lanes. Look at this. Not even touching it. It's just maintaining the speed. Oh, that's so beautiful. If it wasn't windy, I'd probably just totally let go of the bars and lay back, put my feet up on the engine guards. So, I went ahead and I ordered that MC Cruise Kit. The one that I was talking about in that other video, the fully integrated one. I did cheap out though. I didn't feel like fronting the cash for the Super Tenere switch block and all that stuff. That was just too much money, and it was, you know, like almost $200 cheaper just to run their switch, which is their switch is pretty good. Like, it's, you know, nice and out of the way. You can get your thumbs on it and stuff. The only downside to it is that it's a little bit tough to get your thumb on your normal switch so that you could change your instrument cluster, but other than that, not a huge deal. If you're turning on your heated grips, you know, you can still pull that back button, and then I usually just use my pointer finger and hit the arrow up. So, you know, all in all, like, it's a pretty seamless install. The only other thing I don't really care for is just this little bundle of wire right here, because you plug your switch connector into their connector, and then their connector into your switch, your clutch switch block. So it just makes a little bit of a bulk here. Not the end of the world. I did not make a install video for this because I wasn't 100% comfortable on the install. Like, it wasn't something I had done much of. You know, like I've done a lot of like vehicle cruise control repairs and stuff like that, but I didn't want to, like, all right, so here's the thing, like, is like, their system is very fail safe. So if something in their system fails, it shuts down like their whole system. But if you screw up a couple of parts on the install, it won't allow the bike to start. Like, if you screw up the throttle position sensor plug or something like that, the wrong wiring, it won't start the bike. So in the event I wasn't crystal clear on some install instructions or something like that, I didn't want to lead someone astray, if that makes sense, because that's a lot of work to put the bike all back together, because, you know, you got to put the tank down before you can fire it up. And then what if I'm wrong, right? You know, I don't want to cost somebody an hour or 2 hours of time because I wasn't crystal clear on what I did. The install, however, though, took a few hours, so you can definitely start it after dinner and get it done before bed and ride to work the next day. You know, depending on what time your bedtime is, or you know, if you have kids or something like that. But so budget yourself 4 to 6 hours easily, like with smokes and beers and play it on your phone and stuff like that. Not a big deal. You can definitely get it done in that amount of time. Now, I didn't install it, hop on it, go straight out and do a review video because, you know, your wallet feels lighter, so everything about the bike feels greater, right? You know, you go faster because your wallet's so much lighter. You know how those kinds of reviews go. So I gave this about a solid week, testing it to and from work, testing it around the city, and this system does work awesome. Like, it's exactly like it is in your car. If you touch the brake, it cancels. If you pull the clutch in, it cancels. If now I haven't been able to get it to do it, but if it senses the engine is speeding up too much, it cancels as well. So I don't know, if you're coming down a hill that was like this, it might cancel you out, and then you'll end up with engine braking. Like, that's the difference between the bike and the car, is as soon as you cancel this cruise control, you get like that full engine braking. So I mean, it kind of puts you forward. So I like to, like, you know, try and match the RPMs a little bit, then I'll cancel it, just so I'm not like, ugh. Not the end of the world. I mean, it's, you know, if you're accelerating at a hard rate and then immediately let go of your throttle, I mean, you get thrown into your gas tank basically. But you know, you can hit the decel button as well, and say this light changes up here, I can just pull the brakes, stop, and then once I get back to 6th gear, I can hit, you know, resume, and it'll just pick back right up at this 119 in Mexico. We are in Mexico right now. What else can I really say about this thing? I mean, it just works really good. And the difference between this kit and a like a factory kit is you can use it in any gear. You don't have to be like in 4th gear or higher or 5th gear or higher. Like, I can literally be in 1st gear going through a playground zone and just hit the set button and coast. Like, I don't like using it in the city in traffic, especially because that's just asking to rear end somebody, because you're going to be playing with your cruise control or something like that, and then traffic will suddenly come to a stop. Like right now, if this guy was to swerve in front of me and slam the brakes on, I am so irresponsible at the moment, I wouldn't even be able to get my hand on the brakes before something happened. But what I like to do, and we've been getting some colder mornings, is I won't squeeze the throttle, but I just kind of keep my hand on it, and then it, like the heated grips, I'll still keep my hand warm, and I can just relax my hand. It's nice and loose, and so then I'm like in a ready position, so if something happened, I can reach that front brake, and or, you know, I can just tap it with my back foot or whatever. But you know, right now I'm just kind of letting this thing go, so you guys can see, like, I didn't have to touch nothing other than a couple accelerates, a couple of decelerates, and I'm all the way back into the city. So pretty well the length of this video, so it's a extremely long video. Alright, so here comes the light. I'm going to go ahead and just tap that brake, and now you see the light turns back to red, and I was going way too quick, so we're going to have to do a little heavy braking here. Again, be careful when you're using your cruise control. Alright, so now that we're back to a cruising speed, I'm going to leave her in 5th here just so you can see, and I'm going to go ahead and hit that set button. There you have it, light turns yellow. You are good to go. So that pretty well concludes like the review aspect. I mean, like, there's really not much else you can do on it. Oh yeah, one more thing, sorry, all over the place here. You can overtake, like you can speed up, and then you can just let her back go, and it'll catch you back at the speed again. So if you're going on a trip on the highway, cruising in 6th gear, you come across somebody, you can pass them and then just let off your throttle, and it'll pick you back up where you were again. So that's a nice feature about it, very similar to the cars. But yeah, so that's pretty well like the last thing to really bring up about this. If you are installing this kit on your FJ and you hit a snag or something like that, just post a comment below and I'll try to help you out. I mean, the instructions that come with this kit are actually very well done. Like they're really good. Like, they've got a lot of good pictures in them. These guys took the time, wrote them out. They even like explain like, oh, this could be underneath this, taped to here. So it's like these guys, like, they really took care to give you good instructions, because nothing is more frustrating than you get an aftermarket part and it's like set bike on stands, install cruise control, ensure cruise control works, road test bike. Thanks, that's super clear. Way back in the day, I'm gonna tell you a story here. I was working on a 2000 Chevrolet, and the work instructions on Pro Demand for engine removal was open hood, set vehicle up on hoist, disconnect negative battery, undo necessary connectors and bolts, remove engine. Thank you. I couldn't have figured that one out. That was quite a few years ago, before that right to work rule came out, and manufacturers didn't have to release information to third-party companies at that time, right? So, but back on topic here. My overall review of this MC Cruise is it's a little pricey, but it's worth every penny if you take your bike on long trips, which I do. even just cruising to work, you know, that 30-minute drive, it's like, it's just nice to be able to let go. And, you know, now you can wave at people. You can wave with both hands. Just like, hey, guys. Let me know what you guys are thinking of this. I hope you enjoyed it. We had a little bit of fun with the review. Poke some fun. You know, you can never go wrong with a Titanic reference. Letting go, Jack. Anyways, though, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Got a couple of trips coming up in the future-ish. And, you know, they should be pretty fun. I'm not sure when this video will be coming out per se, so I might have already done said trip at that point. I guess we'll see. But thanks again. Thanks for watching. And make sure you hit that subscribe button.